What's going on, guys? Welcome back. In today's video it's going to be all about dioramas. So it's going to be what a diorama is, how I make them, the inspiration behind them, and possibly even going to be starting one. So let's get into it. The first thing you're going to want to start a diorama is an inspiration. It's an idea. It's what do you want to make? Do you want to make a single model diorama where it's got a larger base with a good assortment of different things going on that are telling a story? So it could be a singular model with skeletons lying around it, rifles strewn everywhere, helmets, such as the one I've got here. Or it could be multiple models, but at the end of the day, they're little captures of stories that we are trying to tell through our hobbying. So the whole concept for the diorama that I've got on display now is it's a Cadian soldier. It's after the battle. The fires are still raging and he's in shock. He's almost like he's in shock. And that's what I'm trying to put across to you through the story. He's lost. He doesn't know where he's going. He's probably got PTSD. It's been a traumatic battle. And he's just carrying his helmet, wandering through the remnants of what was once his squad. So in this one I've got a Cadian fire team that's having a bit of a bad day at work, I suppose you could say. The whole inspiration came from the 9th edition trailer put out by Games Workshop, and I just loved the fact of, hey, what if I could make it look like the guys are being dissolved, like the way that when the Necrons fired at the Cadian troops, because that was quite shocking to watch. And it's what I've tried to recreate here. And obviously I've done it in my own style, I've done it my own way. I've led it away from a built-up city to more of a trench theme. And I got that idea from actually watching the film 1917. Which made me then go on to Google. I then searched through images from World War One, and it gave me this idea, gave me this plan to put together. And I love how dioramas as well, they can inspire others to tell stories, because I put this one up on Reddit a while back when I made it, and it was received quite well. Had over 1,000 upvotes, and somebody wrote an incredible story, and if I could find it I'll read it to you just in a moment. So I had entitled this video Static on the Line, and when I uploaded it to Reddit user Ships of the Line added a substantial little story to it, which helped bring the diorama to life that little bit more, because it inspired someone to write this. Faithful 3-3, this is Rapture. Request confirmation of grid zone coordinates. Your call for fire mission was danger close to your position. Static on the line. The Voxman that had called the fire mission was dead, as was 3/4 of Bravo Company, and the bioacid kept falling all along the line, burning the skin and flesh off the guardsmen, sending the unfortunates speeding towards the Emperor's peace. Faithful 3-3. This is Rapture. I say again, confirm grid zone coordinates for fire mission. Your request was danger close. How copy? Static on the line. The Voxman equipment was corroded beyond recognition, so there was no way for the artilleryman listening on the other end to hear the hissing of melting bone, nor the screams of the dying men. They could not hear the skittering of Hormagaun's feet, nor the screeching of the alien's throat. The Tyranids would be all over what remained of Bravo Company's foxholes in moments, and there was nothing to be done for the damned men. Faithful 3-3, this is Rapture. Fire mission approved. Message to observer. 1 launcher rack, 4 Manticore missiles, fire for effect, time on target, 15 seconds. Danger close. The Emperor protects. Over. Far away, the Titanic missiles whistled into the skies, bearing payloads of holy wrath to avenge the men of Bravo Company. But they would not live to see the Emperor's retribution fall upon their position. The only witnesses would be the lifeless eyes of their corpses. And Rapture would never get a proper bomb damage assessment from their fire mission either. Only more silence and static on the line. So that to me covers the question of what is a diorama. It's a story. It's a story that you're trying to tell to others, but that also can be interpreted in their own ways, because they're going to see things that you haven't thought about in the design process. Right, let's crack on to the next step and let's actually start making one, shall we? So now we're going to ask ourselves all the questions in the world. The what, the where, the why, the how and the who. So I always start off with the environment. What environment are we going for? And once again, I'm going trench theme. Now we've got the environment sorted, we need to start jotting it down, drawing ideas, getting a feel for what the scene is going to show to people. And that's what I'm doing just here. I'm just sketching little things out and getting a rough idea of what I want to do. This can all change, it can always change, and this did change. Now I've got an idea, we need to start building up the base. So from the bottom up, I'm just working out what I want my foundations to be made out of. Do I want it to be made of these square pieces of MDF, or I've got some circular pieces of MDF, or I've actually got the base that the knight came on, so that could be a good idea actually. Let's check that one out. Yeah, quite like that. That's here to stay. Right, next point, we're going to be just sort of messing with the materials that we've got, working out, and once again you can see me just redesigning what I'm going to be working towards here and re-sketching out with the items that I've got in order to help this grow as a little project. So this is now one of the easiest and hardest parts of the build process, and that is just working out where everything's going to go in the space that's given. So I'm just going to be messing around, seeing what looks good, seeing what doesn't look good, and going from there. So without any trips to the hospital, let's get our super glue out and finalise these decisions. We're going to have the crater on there, and I'm now going to build up around it with one of my favourite items to mould with, and that is air dry clay. Now if you live in the UK, for 1 kilogram of this air dry modelling clay, it is £4 off of Amazon, free delivery. That's right. Free! That's the best word in the English dictionary, is it not? Now, for working with this material, I do suggest that you wear a pair of latex gloves or anything to cover your hands, and just because it can be a bit of a nightmare to get off at a later point and it builds up quite thickly. So next we're going to make it malleable by just dipping it in a bit of water, getting a bit wet, and then just getting it on there, working out all the creases, sorting out a terrain feel. This air dry clay does have a load of time to work with. You can leave it, you can walk away for an hour or two, come back and continue working with it. It is great. It does take a while to set, but that's good for us because it means if we do change our mind, we can get back in there, a little bit of water, and readjust it for ourselves. Now that it's starting to look good, we can start playing with it again and working out our next steps to the environment that's in. So keeping with the trench theme, I'm going to use these as duck balls. My coffee stirrers, my stolen coffee stirrers. Don't tell anyone, don't steal. And if you watched my last video, you'll know what I'm on about. Okay, continuing. So carrying on, we're getting the environment set now, so it's about time to reach into your bits box and really bring this environment to life to make it look like the battlefield that we want it to be. it's starting to take shape now. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking a sand and stone chipping mixture, just mixing it all up together, and I'm going to put it all over the clay to get rid of that smooth clay effect from when it dries, to give ourselves some sand, some grit, some dirt. So however we're going to paint this up, it's going to give it that texture to make it look like dirt without having to go through extra steps later on to try and paint it to look that way. Now that we're ready for our next step, and that's the who. Who is going on this diorama? And that's the best part. I haven't got a clue. I don't know what I'm going to put on there. This is what I love about it. I'm going to be just as surprised as you guys will be in part 2. So subscribe if you want to see it. And I really do hope to see you in the next one. Take it easy, guys.